What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you again today with a college football preview video for the 2020 college football season. And up today, the first Pac-12 team I've done so far, the Oregon Ducks. I at least think it's the first Pac-12 team that I've done. But anyway, so looking at Oregon. Right, now before you say anything, I've heard some stuff that they might not get a season in the Pac-12, right? First off, we're getting a college football season in the fall this year. They just haven't said anything yet because they're waiting till July 1st or whatever for some reason, right? But anyway, I do believe that we will get a season. I think the Pac-12, from what I'm hearing, if anything, is the conference most in danger. I don't know why that is, but I think that there's a chance that we could get a season. Now, with that being said, some conferences, because you got to think, the Pac-12 is pretty much the whole western region of the United States. USC, you got Cal, you got Colorado, you got Oregon, you got Washington, all on the West Coast. Colorado's somewhat close to the Midwest, or right in the central region of the U.S. But anyway, and this is also, again, my first Pac-12 team. I have not done the Pac-12 yet, but I've tried to run through the SEC. I've tried to run through the ACC. Got quite a few teams to schedule and look at, and as we get closer here in a couple days, it'll be June. I'll be in Alabama for the summer. I'll probably still do live streams and make some videos, but probably not as much as I'll be spending time with family. But I still want to try to knock some teams out as much as possible before the football season. So with that being said, let's get into this preview video, and I'll stop talking. All right, so you look at Oregon last year, a team favorite for the Pac-12, a team that had great chances of making the playoffs. Justin Herbert, who is with the, let me double check and see who drafted him, but he went in the first round, I think 6 overall, was it? Chargers drafted him. Justin Herbert's with the Chargers, if I am correct, led this team to the Pac-12 championship, and they won it. However, what held them back last year, and we'll get into what happened last year, start the season off August 31st, neutral site game. It's the Advocare Kickoff Classic with Auburn. A lot of people like to look at that game last year prior to it happening like, oh, look, it's a rematch of the 2010 national title, stuff like that. So a quick summary of what happened with them last year. Lose to Auburn to start the season. You beat Nevada, Montana, win at Stanford, get a bye week. Everyone got 2 bye weeks. Your first one came September 26th. Next week, California, you beat them. Not that great, though. 17-7 at home. Colorado, blow them out 45-3. Win 35-31 at Washington. Washington State at home, 37-35. I could keep going down the list with scores. You beat USC, had a bye week, beat Arizona, lost week 11 to Arizona State on the road, 38-21. Close loss. Then, of course, your rival in Oregon State, you beat them 24-10, and you make a bowl game. Or I skipped one. Hold on. You beat Utah 37-15. Pretty good win in the Pac-12 championship, but having that Arizona State loss and the Auburn loss, I think if you had won one of those games, you would have had a great shot to make the college football playoff. But you still ended up with a great bowl game in the Rose Bowl, traditional game played on New Year's Day every year, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and you win 28-27. That was a good game. I don't remember how you won. I think maybe a late stop or late field goal or something like that. But it was close, somewhat down to the wire, and you pulled out the win there. So overall, a good season. Justin Herbert was a favorite for the Heisman, did not win it. Of course, Joe Burrow won it and won the Natty. So Justin Herbert, this guy that people thought would be a top pick in the 2019 draft, also figured would be a great, really high pick like he was in the 2020 draft. Just, did not quite exceed the expectations that were placed for him or anything like that. I don't think he was necessarily a Heisman finalist. Not trying to throw him under the bus. He's going to do great in LA with the Chargers, learning a little bit under Phillip Rivers. He might take over there pretty soon. But anyway, let's look ahead to 2020 for Oregon. All right, looking at this schedule, a couple interesting matchups. Open up with, I guess you could call it a cupcake, North Dakota State. The North Dakota State Bisons. It's not plural as written, but you could definitely say it however you want to, I guess. Sorry about that. But anyway, open up with North Dakota. Should be no problem. I think Oregon is going to lose some key pieces. They have that, what's that defensive player? Kayvon Thibodeau. Just saying that 500 times fast or whatever. That sounds fun to say. Top recruit. Had Bama on his radar. Chose Oregon. Of all the schools he got an offer from. I would expect Oregon to be a good team next year. How good? We'll have to see. We'll see what happens with the quarterback position. With Justin Herbert out, I'm not sure exactly. I really don't know much about all the Oregon players, if I'm being completely honest. I'll have to look. But let's see. Oregon, they finished 5 last year in the rankings. Not too bad for Oregon. Just could not finish it last year to make the playoffs. It's okay. Bama didn't make the playoffs last year either, so don't beat yourselves up. Cale Millen, a freshman. Tyler Show, reading the quarterbacks. You have 3 quarterbacks, all freshmen, so it's kind of up for grabs. I don't know. I'm going to just be plain simple with it. I don't know much about Oregon. I don't know much about players. I would assume, as far as running backs go, maybe this Travis Dye, I've heard a little bit about him. He probably will be the running back. They have so many freshman players on this team, especially, and again, 3 quarterbacks on the roster, all freshmen. Pretty much call it up for grabs. Oregon fans, let me know what you're hearing, what you think about the quarterback position, definitely. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But again, let's get into the 2020 schedule and, keep it going, I guess. So, open up with North Dakota State. The week 1 should be no problem. Week 2, Ohio State comes to town. That's going to be very interesting. Early test for the Buckeyes going on the road, and Oregon, who's playing at home against a top 3, top 4, top 2, whatever, national title contender and the Big Ten favorite, Ohio State. So open up with North Dakota State. Ohio State comes to town. You get 3 straight home games, Hawaii being a team to come in week 3. Then you go on the road at Colorado, home against Washington, get a bye week early on October 10th. Quite a few teams getting bye weeks in October, but that's normally how it is anyway. Come off the bye week at California, home against Stanford, at Arizona, USC, Arizona State, at Washington State, and at Oregon. And then, of course, after Oregon State, Oregon State. I said at Oregon. I meant at Oregon State, your in-state rival, right? So we will see what happens. But anyway, so looking at this, I think you can go ahead and put in the books. I think North Dakota State. Not going to sit here and say they're a bad team. They're not in the Pac-12. They're just, North Dakota State, right? Now, I'm sure they are probably a good team in their own conference, but I don't think Oregon's going to fall off that much. Losing a quarterback, losing a runner, or, some receivers or anything. I really think they do lose a little bit. They do take a step back this year, but I don't think they take such a step back. They lose week 1 to North Dakota State at home. Come on. Ohio State. You go in 1-0. Ohio State pretty much 1-0 in this game. Undefeated, week 2. Gonna be interesting. This is home for you guys. I think you know who I'm picking here. I mean, is it even up for discussion? This is an early test, though. If you pull this off, either Ohio State is going to have a bad year or you're going to have a great year. Either way, it's a good win for Oregon. Great win, I should say. Ohio State's the Big Ten favorite. What do you want me to say? I think you're going to lose this game. Could it be close? Absolutely. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? We see last year to open the season, just thought of this, you see Oregon and Auburn, who played in the championship game, and this year, week 2, Ohio State and Oregon, who played in the initial college football playoff championship game when it started. But I do think that you lose to Ohio State week 2. And I mean, it's not even up for debate. I'm sorry. Listen, you can probably have a good chance against them. It'll probably be like a 1 or 2 score game. But Ohio State could, easily go to Oregon and win this game. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that because they're Ohio State or anything. I'm saying that because they have great players. Justin Fields is a Heisman favorite. I made a video the other day talking about Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, and could Justin Fields potentially be the Joe Burrow of this year and sneak up on someone and come out of nowhere and win the Heisman and be the number 1 pick? Yes, he can. And so when you tie that in, it's Justin Fields. Come on. What do you want me to say? So, you start off 1-0. You're losing week 2 to the Buckeyes. I know I'm going ahead and, giving out losses, but anyway, Hawaii comes to town. You will be better than Hawaii. You come off a loss. This is at home. I don't know what to make of Hawaii. I think they just lost their quarterback, Cole McDonald. Decent arm. I'm trying to think. The Titans draft him. I think he's on their roster or something. So they'll have to replace the quarterback. They don't really have a lot of great recruits. No offense to them. I'm not trying to say they're a terrible team or anything. I'm sure they're good in their conference, their division, or wherever they are. But you should have no problem at home losing or beating Hawaii. So you'll win that game. At Colorado, this is going to be interesting. Colorado, man. Mel Tucker. Listen. The defense last year, if you saw that Oregon-Colorado game, Steve Montez, the quarterback for Colorado, who's a pretty serviceable quarterback, by the way, did not have a great game. That defense came to play against Colorado, and there's really not much change in the defense between last year and this year. So that should be no problem there. Then October 3rd, Washington comes to town. I'll do a Washington preview video pretty soon. Washington's a good Pac-12 team, I think. What it's going to look like, I don't know. Chris Peterson's out. Chris Peterson was a decent coach at Washington, led them to a Pac-12 championship, competed in the Pac-12 at least, if not first in their division every year, second or third. Made the playoffs that one year, the same year Jalen Hurts was a freshman in 2016. Clemson, remember, they beat Alabama in the title last minute. That was that year. It won't be a blowout. They're two of the best teams in the Pac-12. They actually might be the two best teams in the Pac-12 right now, if we're being honest. But Oregon's a better football team at the moment. I expect them to win against Washington at home. Now, if this were on the road, maybe not. I mean, Washington could pull it out. But this is home for you guys. Should have no problem. Get a bye week early, October 10th. Rest up, and then go play California. Well, in California, I guess, right? I don't know what to make of California, honestly. I mean, I guess they're really good at home, from what I understand. What was the score of this last year when you guys played them at home? Let me see. 2019 Oregon. 17-7. And you only won by 10 at home. This is on the road. I don't expect California to get worse. This will be tough for you, Oregon. I mean, you come off of a home game. You also come off a road win against Colorado. You come off a bye week, you could rest up for it. But California, not too bad of a program. They got a good quarterback. Got a good arm. So, I mean, listen, as close as that game was last year, and if you watched it, I saw highlights and everything. California led that team, should have won, didn't. But I think it'll be close. But I think California at home will pull it off. Stanford comes to town after that. Should be no problem. Stanford, I get, not a nobody team, not the best, not the worst, decent, right? Could do something in a bowl game probably. You should have no problem there. That should be a win. So far, I think 1, 2. So far you got 2 losses. You'll beat Stanford after the loss to California. At Arizona, this could get interesting. Arizona is a really good team, at least at home, right? I've heard it's kind of tough there. They're not too bad at home, but Oregon's a far better program, far better team. Should be no problem there. Might be kind of close, but I think Oregon pulls it out. We'll just have to see. So you'll probably win there. USC comes to town. What to make of USC? Well, I tell you this: if Bryce Young had chose USC over Alabama, you know who I'm picking here. But he didn't. I don't know what to make of USC yet. They're a great team. They're a great team at home. This is in Eugene, Oregon. Could be a primetime game. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I really don't know what to make of them, and I don't want to doubt Oregon that much. I'm going to give this to Oregon since it's a home game for them. It'll be close, though, I'm sure. But anyway. Then the next week, Arizona State, Sun Devils. This is going to be interesting too. Arizona State, I'll preview them pretty soon. First off, like the colors, like the logo and everything. They got good uniforms. But that's not what's important here. Listen, Arizona State last year, what did they go? Let's see. 4-5 in the conference, 8-5 overall. It looks like they won their bowl game. They won their last 3 games. Let's see. They beat Oregon last year, 31-28, and that was on the road. It could be a close game again. Arizona State does pull upsets here or there. But I think since this is at home, you learn from the loss last year. Maybe you pull that out. So, at Washington State, Washington State's pretty good at home. But I think let's see, I don't know. We'll have to see. Mike Leach is gone. He's in Mississippi State now. They have a new head coach. They got some things to work out. But I think Oregon's going to be a better team there. And I also think you'll win that game. You'll also win at Oregon State. And that'll do it. And with that being said, let's see. Let me try to remember these losses. Ohio State. Let's see. You're not going to lose to Arizona State. You'll lose to Ohio State. You'll beat North Dakota. California. I mean, I know what I said about these teams. I get all that, but at the same time, like, it's still one of those things where, I mean, this is tough, Oregon. I really don't know what they're going to look like. I think they'll be good. I do. I think the fact you get California on the road and they almost beat you last year, you only won by 10 at home. I think California pulls an upset there. So you lose to California, you'll lose to Ohio State. I think you also lose to... Let's see. Ohio State. I don't know. I see maybe a 9-3 or 10-2 season. But I'm going to stick to... I don't know. I'm going to play it safe here and say 10-2. I think maybe you... okay, so you'll lose to Ohio State, and you'll also lose to either... I don't know. I guess Arizona or California. I don't know. One of those teams. It's tough to tell, Oregon, but bottom line, you're going 10-2 in my prediction. Not making the playoffs, sorry. Probably win the Pac-12, or at least make the championship. Probably win the North, but I just don't... I mean, they don't get worse or better, I guess, but at the same time, they got to figure some stuff out in terms of some guys on defense. So... And Well, they went 10-2 last year in the regular season, and I would probably see them doing the same thing here. So 10-2, 9-3. I don't know. Oregon fans, definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think, and tell me why you're going to go 15-0. Tell me why you're going to win the Pac-12. Why you don't need Herbert. Just let's hear the excuses. I don't know what to make of Oregon. I got nothing against Oregon whatsoever, so I'm sorry if it seems like I'm trying to rip on them a little bit, but I don't know what to make of Oregon. They're definitely going to be in the Pac-12 championship. I don't see them not being there. Will they win it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but I don't know. 10-2 most likely, and 9-3 if not that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this preview video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, I do college football, NBA, college basketball, and MLB talk. Haven't done much other than college football preview videos because there's really nothing else to talk about. We're still waiting on some sports to start back up, really, but it should happen soon. It's the 28th of May. We got 4 days until June 1st, which is when baseball is supposed to start, but it's not a guarantee. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. The best thing we got right now is a little bit of golf and a little bit of NASCAR. So anyway, so that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in today. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really do appreciate it. Thanks so much. And I'll see y'all next time. Till then, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Y'all have a good one. Roll Tide.